What's going on? It's Dom. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to another Dom IY video. Today I've got to swap out the battery of my wife's 2015 BMW X3. Over the last couple of months it's had a slow crank, and in the last few days it's gotten even slower. Now I did put a little battery tender on it and left it overnight. That managed to work for a day or so, but that slow crank just kept coming back. It's out of warranty, therefore I can't get a new battery from the dealer. I'm not going to go to the dealer so they can charge me a lot of money to replace it and program it, so I'm going to do it myself. Now, I put a voltage meter on it and I wanted to see if I was getting enough voltage, which it does prove that it is getting enough voltage. And also, one of the indicators that you have a low battery is when you press the key fob, your daytime running lights might not come on, your park lights might not come on, or they might be weak, but everything indicates pretty well. So I wanted to double check and make sure that it is the battery. I went over to one of the local shops and they put a tester on it, and it has enough voltage, but the cold cranking amps are really low. Now this is a 950 cold cranking amp AGM battery, and it's reading 225. So although it has enough voltage, it's just not cranking strong enough. So now I've got to change the battery, and I'm going to go ahead and have it programmed by a professional, and hopefully that'll get rid of all the problems and we can step into the new year with a good battery in this vehicle. So let's get this started. So here we are in the trunk where most of the batteries will exist in these models, and long gone are the days of having a simple battery with two connections. No, now we've got a bunch of other connections on the positive side. As you can see, this whole red mechanism here has to be removed. So that has to come out so I can grab this extra large battery that sits in this vehicle and swap it out. And I'm going to do that really quick. So with a 10mm socket and a ratchet, I'm going to remove the negative terminal of the battery. And I'm going to use a microfiber towel for now to wrap it just so it doesn't touch anything that it shouldn't, while I remove the other side. Now that I've removed the negative terminal of the battery, I want to remove the positive terminal, also a 10mm. And then once I loosen that just enough, I want to separate the terminal from the rest of this entire mechanism. Here's a 13mm that I'm going to remove just to separate the two. That way that's disconnected, and then I can disconnect this part here. And that's going to be by pressing down on these two metal tabs right here. Pressing down on it will loosen the clamp that holds it along the side, and I can remove the whole thing. Also keep in mind we have to remove the bracket, the support bracket, which holds it down in place. And there's one here, 13mm, and this is the bracket that runs across, and the other one is down there. Not sure if you can see it. That's also a 13mm. Remove that so I can lift this all up. But I want to separate this part from that part, so it's this one right here, and then also on the bracket is these cables that are running across here. These wires are connected with a little rubber clamp or something that's in there. I just want to remove that. Now I've loosened the bolt all the way down there holding the clamp, and for me to get it out, kind of difficult because it's way down there. The easiest way that I found, even though I don't want to pick this all up and leave it attached, but if it drops in there, I have this trusty clamp tool here on this extension, which works, and by squeezing up on the top, it opens and closes. See if you can see that there. And it's a great pickup tool. I also have a magnetic one that also works, and it's just a matter of pressing in here. Okay, now that I've got the bracket from the center removed, I've got the positive side and all the other positive elements removed. The battery still is being held down by 113 millimeter here on this corner, and I don't see any other, so it's probably just that one. All right, so there's that bracket that was holding down the battery on the top right hand side, the way I'm looking at it. Now if you look over on the left side, there is a vent hose attached. The battery comes with a little vent there, and I've got to attach that hose, so I want to make sure I remove that and carefully put it back into place. I got the battery out, got the new one in, gonna clamp it down, put all the connections back on. I went with a Die-Hard AGM, which is 950 cold cranking amps, just like the other one was. This has a 4-year warranty, if I'm not mistaken. Now let me just put all this back together, and then we got to have it professionally programmed. That's right, it's not a simple swap anymore where you just take a battery out and put another battery in. You know, you've got to have batteries programmed so everything reads accordingly, and you know, the ECU know that you've got a new battery and it can adjust everything accordingly. So that has to be done by the pros. So let me get this in and let's get that done afterwards. All right, everything is back, all tied up as it should be, everything connected. Now it's time to get programming. So let's get the professional in here. Let's get them to do that. Yeah, I don't know about that professional stuff, but I know a little bit about a lot of things, and I'm sure I can take care of this with an ODB2 reader. Now, could I take it to the dealership? No, I can't, because I don't want to give them all my money for them just to program something that'll take probably 3 minutes or less. So I'm going to use this ODB2 reader. I'm going to reprogram the battery for the ECU. It's going to extend the life of the battery so it runs properly with all the computer components in the vehicle, and it's going to just be more efficient for the electronics of the vehicle, and that's why you need to program it. You know, I'm using this one because the Pro Tools that I have does not work for the F25 platform, the X3. It reads the codes, but it doesn't program anything. So I've got to go out and use one of these, and I'll give you a little more explanation as to why I chose this one. So this is the ODB2 reader that I'm going to be using. It's the Zurich model ZR13, and it's from Harbor Freight. I looked it up. It's got very, very good reviews. A lot of people use it on various types of vehicle, and they've been successful with it. Now, as I said, I have Pro Tools, which I use frequently on my E93, and everything about it works great. Pro Tool does work for the F platform, but it only reads the diagnostics. It does not do any reprogramming or coding. Probably in a future firmware upgrade, perhaps they'll add that in. I hope they do. But for right now, it doesn't. So I can't reset the battery. And I've seen a lot of people use this one to reset the battery and program it on various BMW models, and it has been successful. Now, I've got other vehicles in my stable. I'm sure this is going to work just as great. So I'm going to give it a try and see how it goes. Now, can I return it to Harbor Freight if it doesn't work? I could, but they charge you a 20% restocking fee. But as I said, it's going to work for other vehicles that I've got at home, so that's fine. Now, it's a simple connection with the ODB2 adapter. Just plug it right in to the port underneath the dashboard on the left side of this vehicle. I'm going to do that right now and show you how it's programmed. So when you plug the unit in for the first time and you have not put the car in accessory mode, you haven't pressed the start stop button once without starting the vehicle, you're going to get a communication error. It's going to keep trying to auto scan, you see there. However, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of this system itself. You've got your little screen there so you can see what's going on, and you've also got a keypad down here in a circular fashion with a bunch of different keys, which I'm not 100% sure what they all do as of yet. I'm not doing a review on this entire unit. I'm going to primarily be using the M, the arrow, and perhaps the arrow down button if I need to scroll through screens. So basically those are the three that I'll be using today, but I'm sure the manual will explain what everything is and all the different buttons on the unit. All right, so now to reconnect, I'm just going to press that start stop button once. I'm going to hit the power button just so it'll reconnect and refresh. It's going to do that now. 100% that quick. Yes, it says any hotkey. I'm going to press the M. And here's my main menu. And I've got choices, system tests, vehicle information, oil reset, DOC locator, battery reset. Now, when you plug it in for the first time, it's going to want to identify the type of vehicle that you have. I've already done that. I've gone through the procedure. So I'm just going to scroll down to battery reset, press the enter, the arrow, and then I'm under the battery reset screen, and I've got battery reset procedures and battery replacement registration, which is what I want. So with the arrow down, I'll scroll, I'll hit enter. It's going to ask me to turn the ignition off, turn it back on, and then press the arrow to continue. I'm going to turn it off. I'll turn it back on and hit the enter arrow to continue. And now this screen, battery replacement is registered in the ECU, and the next step. The condition, the engine must not be running, which it is not. Terminal 15 on, not 100% sure what that means. I see a little arrow here, so I'm going to scroll with the arrow down key on the keypad. And I see that it highlighted next. I'll hit enter, and it's resetting. And that's how quick and easy it is. Battery replacement was successfully registered in the engine control module. That's it. I didn't have to take it to the dealer, sit, wait. Who knows how long they would have had the vehicle for, and who knows how much they would have charged me. So quick and easy. Get your own ODB2 reader. These things are very, very good to have in your toolbox. Whether you're hands-on or not, you should know what's going on with your vehicle. It's good to know. That way, when you bring it to a mechanic, you may understand what they're talking about, what has to be changed. You might even want to look it up on the internet, in YouTube, and see how difficult of a procedure that is. Is it something you can do? And if not, then at least you know what they're doing to your vehicle. You understand what is going on with your car. These things are good to have. They're not very, very expensive. This one's about 150 bucks. There are some that are cheaper, but you get what you pay for. So I'm going to start the car. And I get a nice quick crank, which of course I expected with a new battery, but now I'm programmed, the battery is registered, I don't have anything to worry about. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. I respond to any and all comments. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next year.